I've been working in flooring for nearly 26.5 years now, and I can honestly say I've never once come across a single day that didn't align perfectly with what we recommended and advised. Because it's so versatile, from the private customer sector, industry, crafts, trade, warehouses, logistics, everywhere you find an optimal solution with this flooring. Hello, this is Frank. I wanted to show you today how easy it is to install our WALAstic floor systems. That's it. In our video, we're now going to show you how to achieve this beautiful end result.
I think we're onto something good. I think we're onto something good.
After thoroughly cleaning the floor, it needs to dry first. This, of course, depends on the ambient temperature and the humidity. Also, thoroughly measure the floor to ensure we stay within the grid of our floor system. Personally, I prefer to start at the back and then work my way forward onto the old floor. That just makes the most sense when it comes to applying the adhesive. Right now, I'm in the process of roughly laying out a direction, doing it dry without any adhesion. Since I'll then be tied to a time window because of the 2K adhesive, I'm making all these preparations beforehand to be able to move forward quickly. When I begin the laying process, I pour this cold welding compound into a suitable working tool for application. I made changes to this one at the tip to make sure it accommodates the centimeter fold properly. But ultimately, everyone must decide for themselves how to best handle this situation. Then I'll just start by applying the adhesive with the appropriate notched trowel B1. That means we jot it down beforehand.
B1.
Then lay it step by step, tile by tile, with fresh cold weld compound applied to the seam each time. Should keep in mind with the WALAstic floor systems that no floor is perfectly straight, so it always goes up and down a little bit. Because of that, I always have to adjust a bit. We're talking about millimeters here, so I can just stay on track. The ground temperature should be at least 15 degrees, though 20 would be much better. Humidity levels are between 50 and 60. That also depends on the room, as well as the surrounding and outdoor temperature. After I applied the amount of adhesive, laid the flooring, our buckets cover 8 to 10 square meters, I immediately roll over afterward. The roller should weigh 50 kilos. I press the panel firmly into the adhesive bed, and if there are any air bubbles trapped underneath, I carefully roll them out to ensure a smooth finish. And the next step would then involve the thermal welding process. I mill into the groove. A groove always in one direction first. After that happens, I weld it. Typically, the machine should operate at around 3.5 meters per minute. I always go for the highest temperature setting to achieve the best possible results and maintain quality. But that significantly depends on the material, the ambient temperature, and naturally on the installer's working speed as well. When I welded it, I was actually only using about half of the cord in the process. The other half sticks out on top. After approximately 20 to 30 minutes, it will be carefully trimmed off using a caulking tool, ensuring the welding cord has enough time to cool down properly and maintain its overall structural integrity. When I welded the floor before trimming it off, you'll notice a small section of cord sticking out at both the beginning and the end. There I do a tensile test. With moderate force, I don't need to try to tear the welding cord out, just with 2-3 fingers. And right away, I can tell if it has proper contact and is firmly secured on 3 sides. The edges will need to tack weld using the hot air welding gun. Edges are adjusted, supports are placed, machines, bases and feet are cut, meaning they're fitted. I do that with the floor cutter. For smaller corners, I make longitudinal cuts with what we call the cracker. You can use a circular saw with the right blade or a jigsaw, plenty of options. We also have step-up tiles. Those are there to level out differences in elevation and height. For instance, we have here a 10mm tile that we gradually taper down to 2mm. Also suitable for doors, gates, and similar applications. What might also be worth mentioning is that these tiles can be partially replaced in case of severe damage. Nails sticking out from the pallets, not lifted sufficiently, slot in, 1 sheet, 2 tiles, 3 tiles, 4 tiles. Square meters can be swapped out, replaced entirely, and you can barely notice 90% of the repair work anymore. We offer the opportunity to print on this specific tiles, even in a suitable and durable solid material format. It can be absolutely anything you imagine, from spring themes and kitchen motifs to company logos or whatever else you'd prefer. It's all just a matter of communication that can easily be arranged, not just individual tiles, but several together as well, as a so-called large image. Color inlays, which we now see here in blue. The customer can determine through certain areas that they want to emphasize. For example, vehicle paths, entrances to workshop areas with red tiles. Think of a stop sign. Such things can be represented. By the way, the same can also be done with a colored welding fume extractor. So, in the long run, I find our flooring very efficient. Among other things, we offer this panel, like this example here, with 10 millimeters. So, I have 10 millimeters of wear layer. We're talking about industrial grade, forklift resistant. This gives me durability, and what's crucial for me is that the panels are always fully pigmented. So if there's abrasion on the surface, even 1 to 2 millimeters, it will always stay, like in this case, dark anthracite or blue. There's no base material, only a 1 to 2 millimeter top layer that eventually gets worn away.
I'll come back even stronger.
The floor can be installed most easily in the industry due to the thickness of the material, whether it's in workshops, storage rooms, offices, utility spaces, and so forth. But it can also be used privately in a garage. One should keep in mind that, as with all other floors, the panels should be placed in the room 48 hours beforehand so they can adjust to the corresponding room temperature. Are you interested in a durable, attractive, and robust floor? Then make sure to check out our website online for more details and explore your options. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. Get in touch. Good luck with the installation.